Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Your presence means the world to me. We're thrilled to present to you our video dedicated to Stampa family. Enjoy. The Stampa are a well-known family of old Italian nobility that rose to prominence in the 15th century. They were Grandees of Spain, members of the Order of the Golden Fleece, and owned many estates throughout the Italian Peninsula, including a castle in Soncino, a palace in Milan, and countless others in Muggiò, Melzo, Gorgonzola, Rivolta, Gonzaga, Ferentino and Rome. They are related to some of the most important Italian noble houses, such as the Doria, Sforza, Gonzaga, Borromeo and Visconti. Brace yourself for an enlightening exploration of early history as we dive into its profound implications. The Stampa trace their ancestry back to Carlo Lanfranco of the Dukes of Étampes, later governor of Milan under Charles the Great. His descendants settled in Milan and Gravina, and ruled over the Val Bregaglia. The best evidence for this is the city of Stampa, named so by the family in honor of its ancestors. However, historians such as the Count Pompeo Litter do not believe these sources, arguing that it was very common for aristocratic families to trace their ancestry back to France. One of the earliest documents Litter could find dates to 1277, when the Archbishop Oton Visconti became Lord of Milan. It consists in a register compiled by Oton himself, granting several privileges to the most influential families of the city, including the Stampa and their progeny. The Stampa decided the destiny of Milan on more than one occasion. The first time was in 1450, when they helped Francesco I Sforza become Duke of Milan. In February, the Venetians had sent an ambassador, Leonardo Vigneri, to negotiate the city's surrender and help them defeat Sforza. Giovanni Stampa marched on to Milan with his army and killed Vigneri on the stairs of Palazzo Reale, forcing the Milans to surrender. The Duke was naturally obliged to the family, and rewarded them with many honors. As we progress, let's shine a spotlight on Stampa di Soncino and examine its intricate interplay within our topic. The branch of Soncino, arguably the most important of all, originated with the emblematic figure of Massimiliano I Stampa, son of Count Pietro Martiri Stampa and Countess Barbara Crivelli. Massimiliano was a loyal courtier of Francesco I Sforza and Castellan of the Sforza Castle from 1531. The Duke held him in high regard, and in 1534 was appointed to accompany the future Duchess Christina of Denmark on her first trip to Milan. He also hosted a reception for her in his Cusago castle, which he bought that same year. After the death of Francesco I in 1535, the city was about to plunge into chaos, just as it happened when Filippo Maria Visconti died. To avoid disorders, Massimiliano took charge of an embassy and offered Milan to Charles V, Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. In recognition, Massimiliano was created first Marquess of Soncino and granted an allowance of 50 scudi. The family ruled over Milan until 1876, and the city flourished immensely under their guidance. Massimiliano Cesare Stampa, the last Marquess of Soncino, died without children and donated his castle to the municipality. His assets were acquired by the Casati family, thus creating a new branch called Casati Stampa di Soncino. Let's now turn our gaze towards Marquis of Soncino Stampa and explore the fascinating connections it has to offer. Marquis of Soncino Stampa Massimiliano I, Count and first Marquess of Soncino from 1536 I, Marquess of Soncino, brother of Massimiliano I, third Marquess of Soncino, son of Hermes I, married to Marioma de Leyva, aunt of Sua Virginia de Leyva Hermes I, fourth Marquess of Soncino, son of Massimiliano I, fifth Marquess of Soncino, son of Hermes II, sentenced to death for murder Giovanni I, sixth Marquess of Soncino, brother of Massimiliano Massimiliano IV Domenico, seventh Marquess of Soncino, son of Giovanni I Giuseppe I, eighth Marquess of Soncino, brother of Massimiliano IV Massimiliano V Giovanni, 9th Marquess of Soncino, son of Giuseppe I Massimiliano vi Giuseppe, 10th Marquess of Soncino, son of Massimiliano v Giovanni, Grandee of Spain and member of the Order of the Iron Crown, married to Princess Carta Gonzaga di Lazara 1767-1823 in 1785. Massimiliano vi Giovanni, 11th Marquess of Soncino, son of Massimiliano v Giuseppe Massimiliano vi 12th Marquess of Soncino, son of Massimiliano v Giovanni Massimiliano ix Giovanni, 13th Marquess of Soncino, son of Massimiliano v and last Marquess of Soncino. After Massimiliano ix Giovanni's death, the Casati inherited the title of Marquess of Soncino, which was held unofficially by Camillo Casati Stampa from 1876 to 1892. Welcome to the next segment, where we explore Casati Stampa, Marquess of Casate, and its significance in our journey. Casati Stampa, Marquess of Casate o Camillo I, Marquess of Casate, husband of Luisa Casati. Camillo II, Marquess of Casate, son of Camillo I. His infamous suicide marked the end of the dynasty. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of Stampa di Ferentino in this section. In the early years of the 18th century, Carlo Gaetano Stampa moved to central Italy and acquired a palace near the Vatican, Palazzo Capponi Stampa. A few years later, his cousin Pietro Antonio Stampa inherited the palace, settling in Rome and marrying a local noblewoman, who had a dowry of estates in Ferentino and Alatri. In 1779, with the consent of Pope Pius VI, Pietro Antonio's youngest son Angelo joined the council of the 15 noble families of Ferentino. He and his older brother Filippo were loyal servants of the papacy, so much that in 1770 Pope Clement XIV appointed them state administrators of the Duchy of Castro. There is still a plaque in his memory at the entrance of Ferentino's town hall. Count Filippo Stampa, scholar and administrator, lived here. Anno Domini 2001. Among the other commercial activities which the Stampa administered on behalf of the Holy See, there were several iron mines in Elba. The family also had the wood-cutting rights in the area of Conino. It was a very lucrative business, but when Lucien Bonaparte was confined to the Papal States, he claimed part of those estates. After Napoleon's exile to St. Helena, Pope Pius VI offered Angelo Stampa's firstborn Pietro an important job within the Papal States to compensate him for the financial damage. The relationship between the family and the Holy See continued with succeeding generations. Cardinal Maste Ferretti, later Pope Pius IX, ensured that Domenico Stampa contracted a good marriage with Paolina Vinciguerra, last heir of the Counts Antonini di Alatri. The family continues to exist in Rome and Milan. Brace yourselves for the next chapter, where we'll be dissecting notable members. Carlo Gaetano Stampa, Archbishop of Milan. Massimiliano I Stampa, nobleman and politician. Massimiliano I Stampa, nobleman and writer. Stefano Stampa, stepson and biographer of Alessandro Manzoni. Gasparo Stampa, 16th century poet. Hermit Stampa, Bishop of Novara. Giorgio Stampa, discalced Carmelite. Massimiliano ix Giovanni, patriot. George Lorraine Stampa, artist. Thanks for being a part of this amazing journey. I can't wait to bring you more exciting content.